Hey everybody, it's Michael with 4G Woodcrafts. I just wanted to go over with you how I set up my material on my CNC machine and get the engraving started today. I'm going to be engraving a nameplate. I do a lot of military memorabilia. It's a desktop stand. I'm going to be engraving a name on it. And the way I always set zero is I always design it with zero in the bottom right. And I have this block here that's screwed down to the spoil board that once I put it over in this corner, my zero is always at the same spot. So I have that saved, and so if I do change my zero at some point, I know what to put it back to. But that's what I always have my zero set to. I'm going to use a probe to set the Z0, and I use this to control the CNC machine. It's a Raspberry Pi 4. And I got the Raspberry Pi touchscreen and an enclosure that came with it. It actually works out really well to control the CNC machine. Now, I do have a laptop that I remote into the Raspberry Pi, so I transfer the files. It's all over the network and everything, and I can monitor it from my laptop as well. But this just stays out here, so that way on my laptop I can still work on designs and creating G-code for other things and stuff, and while this is controlling the CNC machine. All in all, this ran me probably about $200, and it runs the UGS platform perfectly. And I just have a wireless keyboard that I use with it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move the CNC machine to the front, and I'll show you how I do the set the Z0. So I have a spare piece of wood from what I engraved, and so I'm going to use the probe with that. So I have, as you can see from my build, I use a USB cord for my probe. So I plug that into where I have that. I set this on that. Navigate over to it. Clip the alligator to it. I move it down close. So I move the camera so you can see what I'm doing down here. So I move it close, and then on the UGS platform, I initiate the probe module, and it sets 0. So then, when I return to 0, it goes exactly where I want it. Alright, so once I have that set up, I go ahead and take the keyboard out, and this, the cables are fairly long on this, so I can move it around. I move it over to a shelf over on the side, and then close the enclosure, and so I turn my router on, and then hit play. And it's doing the engraving now. Alright, yeah, I just wanted to show you all how I get my engraving started. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.